All right, it's Tuesday, September 20th, 2022, and it's about 8 in the morning. I just moved the cows. There's something new that I saw that I don't think I've seen it before, and I identified it as yellow foxtail. I'm looking for it right now. The cows may have already gotten to it. Yeah, I think they found it and got it. No, here it is. This stuff right here. I think this is yellow foxtail, a type of grass, which is good. I like seeing lots of different grasses here. You can see on the cows the fly count is way down. We're in the third rotation of this row of 7, so we're almost halfway there. Or rather, this is the halfway point right here, this line. Because tonight we'll be on the other half of this rotation. This isn't too bad, actually. I was expecting a lot worse, but I'm seeing lots of grasses. There's a couple areas obviously that look pretty bad, like this. The goat weed isn't too bad here. What goat weed there is? Oh, that's the calf that had the bucket on his head. I had to grab his tail and then get the bucket off. He couldn't hear me coming because he had a bucket on his head. Anyway, here's number 20, still muddy as ever. I have to check the water supply. Number 20 has so many flies. Number 20, would you tell those flies to go away, please? Yeah, flies are better than, I guess maybe the mud helps protect against the flies. I don't know. Flies. I'm told that the horn flies are not native to America. They were introduced from Europe, so it's all Europe's fault. Here's following one of my sheeps. There's my sheepies. Anyway, my cows seem to be doing okay. There seems to be enough food. Let me check the last pasture they're in. Let me see how much they ate there. I think it starts right about here. No, a little bit further. So I could tell there's dew on the grass here. So I think it starts right around here somewhere. Yeah, I can see the line. You can see there's kind of a line where the grass is taller on the right side than the left. So this is where they were. I'm seeing some grass that they missed. Those manure patties are a little bit too wet for my taste. There's not much I can do. I don't have hay. And it's just young grass here. It's not like the grass has been growing for a month. Well, I think it has almost been a month. Actually, since that rain. But there's not a lot of old grass is what I'm saying. And so when they're eating the young tender grass, that overloads their protein intake, causes their manure to become runny. The other cause could be worms. And I remembered once I did as an experiment when I first had the cows. I gave them some dewormer to see if that changed. It didn't change, and I'm not going to get them tested. But I don't know how it's possible for my cows to have worms when I'm moving them every day like this. It takes, I think it's like 4 or 5 days for the worms to incubate in the soil. So, yeah, the pasture doesn't look too bad. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure I didn't do was overgraze and kill what little grass I have. I got to give this grass a chance to grow. And so I want to make sure I'm only eating about 80% of it. So, yeah, it looks okay. You know, it could be better, but what you gonna do? I was looking at the last row. So this is from 3.5 days ago. You know, the idea is that we're supposed to be growing grass, right? The grass is free food. So let's go look at this last row. I was noticing that this seems like a lawn. The grass is thick. It's like cut to just about the right height you'd like for a lawn. The manure patties are drying out. So just when the larvae start to hatch, 2 or 3 days after the manure patty drops, is starting to dry out, which is good for me because that means the larva has a harder time to survive. So hopefully after the cycle is done and those larvae turn into flies, there won't be too many of them. So this is the last pasture they were in 3.5 days ago. Let's just keep walking. It's thick grass, you can see this. There's not a lot to eat because it's not very much off the ground. I'd say probably about 1.5 inches of depth. And then you get down here, this is a week ago. So this is 1 week of no cows, and now we get grass that's like 2 inches long, tall. It's extremely thick. And you know, if this doesn't say that every square inch of grass on earth needs a cow on it, I don't know what does. But the grass thrives with cows. Cows, goats, sheep. That's what grass needs. It needs a ruminant to chomp on it every once in a while. And by doing so, it stimulates the right kind of growth. Normally, if you left grass to its own devices, it would grow in clumps and leave bare soil in between. But you can see here that the grass is spreading out and hopefully putting down good roots. And there's different types of grass too. I can see all kinds of different grasses growing together. The diversity there will help strengthen the soil and the resilience against drought and things like that. And as we go further back in time, maybe we're 1.5 weeks back in time now, you know. If I had grass like this at the end of August, I would be throwing a celebration, having a party, you know. That's what I would like to see at the end of summer. Give this grass a whole season to grow back. And now we're about 2 weeks back in time. It's kind of nice to be able to do this in the pasture to see what effect you had, you know. And then if I go back 3 and 4 weeks, I could probably put my cows back on there and it probably wouldn't hurt the grass. But I'm going to try to get the rest of my pasture mowed. So that's what it looks like. That's why I keep doing this and why I haven't stopped. Yes, the drought was terrible, and without water and rain especially, you can't grow anything. But this seems to be working out for the better. All right, guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.